Hello and welcome to another bonus episode of Hockey Inside Out. And this bonus episode comes to you from a viewer question. We've got O2 Brav R6. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly.
It took a while to come up with that name.
I know, very, very hard to come up with it. Where's John Smith when you need him? Yeah. They write in to say that the Habs are on the right track and that he likes the fact that the players don't give up after falling behind. How would you assess the character of this team? Stu, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head there. The biggest thing I think since Marty St. Louis took over as coach of this team is that they're never quit. They don't quit. There's maybe on one hand you could count the number of games, or maybe it looked like they gave up in the third period of a game. They're outmatched against LA. I don't think they gave up in those games. They couldn't break through that 1-3-1 system that LA plays so well. But you can tell the players, I mean, it's been a while now that Marty's been the coach, they still enjoy playing for him. They like playing for him. They listen to what he's telling them, and they don't give up. They don't, even if they maybe feel they're out of the game, if you're down 3-0, you don't think you're going to win, they at least come back and they fight. They show some fight. And Mike Pizzetta said that, the recent game where he got in a fight in the last minute of the game when they were down quite a bit. And he said, he's playing for the pride of the crest and just showing that we don't give up. We're not going to roll over, and we still care. Showing the fans we still care. We're not. People pay a lot of money to go to the Bell Center. You don't expect the team to win every game, but you do expect them to play hard and work hard to earn for the money that you're paying to go watch the game. So they've been able to do that. The Canadiens, they've been entertaining even when they lose, and they don't give up. And I think those are the two biggest things that Marty St. Louis has been able to bring to the team in his tenure here.
Yeah, I think the last back-to-back that they had there between Buffalo and Nashville, in the first period, they started well, got into penalty trouble, and things kind of fell apart, and they looked gassed. And Nashville played the other night too, but I don't think they played as hard as the Canadiens did against Buffalo. They kind of just got blown out by the Leafs and kind of took the game off. The Canadiens looked like they had nothing left. And then they came out for the second period, had a much better second period, and then in the third period, absolutely took the Nashville Predators to the woodshed. They couldn't get the goal that they needed to tie the game up and send it to overtime. But I was surprised at how many people were upset about that game, because to me, they were a team that looked extremely tired and then found the energy within themselves to make it competitive, to push back and get themselves in the game. And right now, maybe it doesn't pay off, but that attitude when they are actually ready to compete is going to pay off. And I think that's what's exciting about this team right now, is that you can see the edges forming of the drawing, right? It's like the sketch is started out and the painting hasn't started, but you can see what's being formed, and the attitude that they carry with them in games where they are tired, overmatched, all that, and they still find ways to make it competitive. It's really encouraging. And I think once they get to a point where they're making the playoffs regularly, we're going to see that pay off in spades.
And it's a real compliment to the character of their group. I mean, there's been an occasion where they haven't responded the same way, but more times than not, they've battled from the get-go. And, it's you talk about team identity, and the opposition realizes that when they come and play the Montreal Canadiens, it's not over till it's over. And that is a big plus for them, knowing that everybody's on board and everybody's doing what they have to do from start to finish. And, hats off to Martin St. Louis to, enforce that into their mindset that let's just give it all and see what happens at the end. So nothing but good things to say in that department, unlike what we saw years ago where we saw them behind. We said they're done, they're not going to come back. Now it's almost like motivation that, yeah, they're behind a little bit, but watch out. They're going to come at you until they do their very best to tie it up. And on occasion, what we've seen, they find ways to win.
Yeah, and every coach has a shelf life. I mean, we saw that this week with Craig Berube getting fired in St. Louis. Players start to tune them out, or where they don't get the same response. But with Marty St. Louis, he's getting the same fight from these players as when he first came in. The players talked about the first speech he made when he took over as coach, and how it fired everybody up and motivated everybody. And that fire is still there. You still see that effort level in the players. And go back to the end of the Dominic Ducharme era, when you could tell the players had they tuned them out and they weren't having fun going to the rink. And if they were down 2-0 in the first period, the game was over. And that's not the case, and it hasn't been the case since Marty St. Louis took over. And I don't expect that to change anytime soon either.
Yeah, with all the injuries, with how far behind the Canadiens are behind other teams in terms of like the talent level they have overall, the fact that they keep good teams playing honest is pretty impressive.
And the fact they're right around
still can't take a night off against the Canadiens.
No, the fact they're right around 500, and they lost Doc, and they lost Newhook, and they've lost so many players. The fact they're still around 500 says a lot about their compete level, because a lot of nights they're overmatched, but they compete hard enough to make it a game and either get a win or pick up a point in an overtime or a shootout loss. But as I said, the compete level is there every night.
Let us know what you think. Do you agree? Do you like the character of this team since Martin St. Louis has taken over as head coach? Leave that in the comments section below. And if you have a question for us, the panel, and want us to discuss it in a bonus episode or even on the main show, please leave that in the comments section below as well. And check out Hockey Inside Out to see our full episode.